Welcome back to Profit Playground. So, go some charts today. I didn't get to upload early. I've been so busy today. I don't understand. So, um, those on gold. So I want to share my screen. Um, let's see. I get straight to it. It was a good trading day too. Um, so here we got two charts. So one is going to be, you're going to see gold over here. So I was marking up gold for my wife. So I'm gonna start with gold for a second. I'm going to go to one right now. So we're looking at gold. Oh, guy gave me. Let me just do natural gases. Natural gas is what I trade. She wanted to get into gold, so I was helping her mark up gold earlier. So let's take that. So as you guys see, I got natural gas here on a 4-hour chart. So looking at this chart, you have lows down here at this level, where I have this blue line, then I have this next one, which is another level of support. Okay. Let's make this bigger so you can see how the market has been trending, right? So the market's been trending down. This is obviously an area of sideways movement. And you might say sideways movement. That's usually consolidation, right? Now, this is consolidation, how it looks from a larger time frame. A lot of people don't like trading when it's sideways. I think if you know what you're doing, you have experience, hell yeah, right? So we look at the most recent highs. This is the most recent highs here. Boom. Let's just say, let's actually use the box to give y'all actual zone and not just kind of like the high of the high. Okay. So we're going to look at from here. That's the highs. So I traded this just a couple weeks ago. If you look at the dates, September 7th, 11th, it was at these highs. Made a drastic sell down here. I got some of this actually on the 18th, about a week and a half, 2 weeks ago. And I was able to make some of this. It tested this low, which is a good level of support. You can even see on I always talk about the W and the M, right? I know it's foolish. A lot of people might say, "Oh, that's very beginner," but it's a way to help you with your confluence, even to some degree. Just your confirmation of what the market may to do, and the more you look at it, the more you see it, right? This is what I'm talking about. So if you just look at, yeah, brush. If you look at this, Hmm, 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 boom, right? Now, when you're looking at that, you're thinking, yeah, it's trending low. It tested these previous highs, never broke it. So our overall thing, natural gas isn't didn't break that level. It rejected off that level and came back down. Wanted to trade the lows. Okay. Another thing to also keep in mind is natural gas, oil. A lot of these things trend in the summertime because of heating, oils. People are driving more. People are using more heat, more of the AC units and stuff like that, especially in the winter. Don't be surprised if you see oil very bullish during the wintertime. You see natural gas very bullish during the wintertime, because people are using it more. Okay. Also keep in mind that stuff like big catalysts like war can influence stuff like oil. And it's very big on how the consumers use it. And that's just energy, right? Right now, we're going into that season, so I wouldn't be surprised if Natural Gas starts to shoot and break these previous highs. But trade into these lows, did some consolidation. Okay, I took a trade today here at this level, and that's why sometimes I show my chart executions because you can know that I'm not just saying because I might live trade all the time. Um, so it's crazy. Some go to the lower time frames. Let's go to the 5 minute. Okay. I took a buy here, here, and I got out. Now, some of this is from, I think this is all from today. Um, so I didn't lose any money. I lost like $10. So I added one, made a little bit of money, and then added a couple more, and I made like 100. It popped up, and then I ended up taking out like $156, $157 or something like that. And then I jumped back in, and it just wasn't moving up in here. It gives you the price where I took them out. Gives you the price where I took different trades at. That's why you see three different trades. I just wasn't feeling it. I had a lot to do today, so I got out early, and look what it did. It popped. But let me tell you why I took this trade. Like I said, it was trading the lows. Again, it gave me that W pattern right here. It was trading these lows. Um, Let me go to the get my computer's touch screen. Let me just take the chart executions off because there's a lot of stuff on there. Okay, so I seen that, so I took it and I made money. I got out. I was like, I gotta go, but I was like, man, I know this is gonna pop. I've been waiting for this trade for about a week. I knew it was going to take because it needed to trade back into. Oh, that's why on the 5 minute again. Get back to the hour. Okay. It needed to trade into what we call this is a thinly traded candle right here. Okay. When you have a thinly traded candle, when that means that price just swiftly move through there. You're not gonna really see, you might see fair value gap, you may see um just a big red or green candle, depending if it's bearish or bullish. And that's what it was. Okay. So here, I was waiting for this to tap into here. Okay, tap perfectly into there. See, when I was trading over here, it tapped close to it, and it got me. I actually lost money, ended up selling off. I actually made money, a good amount of money, and then I jumped back in. So, I thought it was about to ready to take off. It wasn't ready to take off. I got caught in this sell off and lost some money there. Okay, because I got back in. So don't overtrade. So now, fast forward a few days, playing kind of sideways here at this level. Okay. And it finally bounced off this level, and that's why I took a buy. It bounced off this level. So remember, I said this is a level of support. So it bounced off this level of support this morning, and I said, "Oh, I need to jump in." Now, reason why I was hesitant jumping in this trade is because been probably about 3 or 4 times since I started recording on YouTube. I have kids, I have a lot going on on a day-to-day basis. If I don't get enough sleep, my trading psychology is off because I'm tired, right? And so I was hesitant. I was like, well, maybe you want to let me just see if it's going to bounce one more time. I seen it when it was right up in here, where the hand is at, where the mouse click was at. I said, this is going to go up. You know what I mean? And because I hesitated, I ended up jumping a little later up in here, and then I didn't hold on. And because I had to go to my doctor's appointment for my Achilles, my follow up, I had a lot going on today, multiple appointments. I was like, forget it. I had hopped in again, wasn't taking off when I wanted to. Let me just forget it. And I didn't want to put stop loss enough. I just said, let me forget it. Whole time, I come back and look at it, and it popped all the way up here, right? That just shows you that consistency, the more you look at the market, the more you put the work in. This is going to be easier for you. Don't make trading very a difficult thing. I'm telling you, right? I saw the bounce into this level, which gave you a perfect example. Okay, didn't want to trade down here. It showed you this here when it tried here and came down and it bounced. Then it bounced back off this level where these previous lows were. Where resist, look at this candle here. It resisted this candle before really hard. Boom, it bounced off this level, just took off. This was a couple weeks ago. So that tells me this is a nice level of support. So I want to look for trades as close to support. If support doesn't break and close on a on an hour 15 for Confluence, I want to take that buy. If it have broken close under there and started trading below these lows, this low, that means it's turning back maybe bearish, especially if it broke down this low. Absolutely, I'd be like, oh, it's getting bearish. Absolutely. And that's what you have to look for. If it started trading, especially down here, and it broken below this, I'm thinking, oh yeah, this is about to sell off and probably sell off pretty hard because since it hasn't broken in such a hard level of support, it's probably going to sell off a lot. So when you look at these levels, you have to be cautious and understanding that that means the buyers are getting in there at these levels. They feel comfortable there. Okay, they bounce. They like buying there. Okay, that's where you're gonna see a lot of volume. Okay, even when I look at this, if you look at it's a trend line too. Look at this low, low, high, low, high, low, high. And then when they retraded back at this low, it's damn near equal lows. It never traded below it though. So that's what you have to look for. You want to take A plus setups as much as possible. You're not going to always get an A plus setup, but especially when you're new, when you don't have as much experience in that eye, you want to go for A plus setups. That means you have to take one trade a week, two trades a week tops. I don't mean one day a week or 2 days a week, and you're trading 4 or 5 times in a day. I mean, one trade, maybe two in a week to get your setup, make the most money as possible. Okay. It bounced off of here, took off right into here. Now, just the way prices are accumulating right here, I think it's going to continue to test this high. I might put in an order. So I might even put two order here and here, trading into these highs. I'm going to take off. I honestly think it's going to take off higher. So this is what I'm seeing, and this is why I think it's going to be a successful trade moving tomorrow. Yeah. Now, some news come out to push it down, then that's something different. Okay. Obviously, that's the first target. And look, you got close, but look, if you look to the left, look, remember, it's under these lows. Okay. It's near this high. Look. This is how you choose your targets too. If you did get the trade, say like right up in here at like 3175, 311, between 317, 3180, your first target should be this previous high of this little accumulation area right here. Boom, first target. Second target, boom, right here near these lows. Okay, price has resisted there, has come back to that low. That's another way. That's how you can pick it to take profit one, take profit two, take profit three. If you want to keep it close, put it right here on top of this high. Right here. Right where my mouse is at. You can keep your take profits high, like tight. You don't have to have take profit and be 10 point, 20, 30 points away from each other. And then honestly, my next take profit will be here, and I'll be happy with that. If it gets up into here, test this high for real, that's even better. Especially if you can hold on to it. See, I'm trading a prop firm right now. So you can't hold on to trades. Absolutely, my own account, I get a good entry down here. Absolutely, I put myself in profit around right here. And if I didn't take all out, if I say man, I have 3 contracts and it came up here, I might take 1 contract right here just to take some profit and then let the other 2 just build up here. Or I take 2 contracts here and let that last one just run. And then if it like tomorrow, even if it retraces and then wants to pop, why not add a couple more contracts and scale into your positions? That's another way too. You can scale. If you get a really good entry like down here, and then it gets to like this level, add another contract. Especially if you know where it's going. Why not? That's how you scale into your positions. Don't start with 10, 5, 10 contracts. You start low, add into. So I'm in my lounge, so I don't know if I'm gonna cut that out, but I'm in my lounge, so this is what we're doing. Okay, so that's natural gas. Then let's look at MEQ. All right, MEQ range in the hair. I made some good money on this sell right here, so bounced off this level. Look, this is crazy. Look at this, y'all. MEQ, right? Look right here. Okay, look. You should have known was it going to reverse. No, I know was it going to reverse. It come down here. Look at that low. Okay, and never broke these little highs or this level. Okay, now at one point it wicked down here like a week ago, week and a half ago, but it never broke this particular level, which would get a lot of people. Okay, that's why it's hard to trade all-time highs. Okay, it bounced up, tried it again, right? It bounced off my trend, boom. Then it consolidated right here, and then it started to get orders. Took off, tested this low right here, previous lows. And what I always call these like short-term lows, retracement lows. Then it sold off, still pretty much on my trend line, and then immediately bounced. Broke this high right here. Right here, took off to match this high. Then it looked like it was about to do a breakout, and it did look good on the 5 minute. I was looking at it earlier. I didn't trade it though, because I didn't stand like it. Boom, and then immediately fell, and then consolidated the rest of the day. I would like to see it break this level again and maybe try to sell off again. I wouldn't be surprised, because that's what happens at the all-time highs. I wouldn't be surprised if it sells off again, or then it breaks and then tests the high one more time or makes a new high, but it bounced right back into this. And then if you look on this on the hour, let's look at the Fed. Look at this to that high. Okay. If you don't like that, This is a better indication when that buy started here. Okay, so look, if you look even in wick almost down to the 50% down here, which is crazy because if you 61.8, it's at these previous little highs right here at around 21,780. I will it could come down there and bounce and tap the high. Also look to the left, that's how you can see where it's comfortable, right? If you look to the left of your chart, now these may all-time highs, so you're not going to see anything on the left really, right? For like consolidation marks and stuff like that. Okay. Let's take this off. But just look down here. What do you see at these levels? Look at these lows to try, right? Look when it kind of goes sideways a little bit. Here, right here, sideways a little bit. Just a little bit, not too much. Sideways a little bit. Just a little bit. Tracing. Look at this. That show you areas that can break below and break above. I trade ranges once I realize what the range is, I like to trade it. For inexperienced traders, I don't recommend it at all. It's foolish. So keep it simple. Trade the trend. And you'll know when the trend will reverse. Look at key levels of support. Look at key levels of resistance. Okay. Look at those levels to help you understand what's going on in the market. Okay. I like to look at the day, 4 hour, hour, and then because I do mostly scalping and intraday trading right now, I like to look at the hour, 15, and 5 minutes, and sometimes the 1 minute for my entries. Okay. All right. You see where it says daily low on here? This is from, I want to say I put this on, dang, I want to say it was like sometime last week, Tuesday, Wednesday, right? I think I had this as like the daily high because it was like that high and low from the previous day. And you see how it blasted through it, but it never broke these key levels that it needed to break. This also shows me that it could go sideways a little bit, then go up, or come down and test this low again. I'm telling you, test this low again, and then go up. So just this is stuff that you guys can just think about and look at. Okay. Just like this high. Let me just show you some stuff. Brush. This break high. This was the low, regardless of what you feel, right? Now, for some people, that might be an indication of, oh, it's going to the downside. This is why it's not going to the downside. It tapped these highs, but it never traded below any of these lows down here, right? Because it made a deep retracement, it rejected immediately off this previous high, which is something you have to think. Look at that. It immediately rejected off this previous all-time high. So because it immediately rejected it so harshly, that will give you an indication that it wasn't going to sell off anymore and continue downward, right? This is stuff that you guys have to level. This is a level now because this is a previous high. Price is now trading above that. And because it's trading above that, Yes, price is going to do it. The market just doesn't go up forever. It doesn't go down forever. So it has to trade into it at some point. Peep that. Traded into it, made another high. You understand? Okay. And then you don't see huge moves, but it's moving up and retracing. These are small retracements. Come here, small retracement, still above it. Same thing here, boom, all time. Perfect. And then it reversed once it came high enough. Good. Boom, 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 boom. Still above this low, these highs. Yeah, it broke this, but it's also a level where it did some chitter chatter right here before it took off down. This ain't a key level. This is a level you can take a buy at, but this ain't a level where you should be until it starts to really come to this level and then break. That's when I'll be like, okay, maybe it's starting to reverse. Okay. Came here, came here, kind of played in it, then came back up here close to this previous high, and now it's playing. No, it's still very bullish, and I think it's going to go even higher before the end of the year. We're in a bullish market right now. The market is doing great. You know. Okay. All right. Um, gold. So my wife wants to study. Let me show what I showed her. All right. So, all right. Gold is making all-time highs. They predicted going to 5,000. Actually jumped up some overnight. Okay. Same thing. What I showed her, which is a higher time frame to the day. We said chart. Boom. This is the box I created. This is the box that needed to break. And I know it's long. This is from April right here. It retraced below it, then break these lows, made a high, and then this is sideways. You really don't want to be in this. I'm being very honest with you. I mean, the low of this range is down here at 31, 3,200, and it only tapped there once during this range. The high, 36-ish hundred. I mean, and it got close one other time in May, and they hit it. So like 2, 3 weeks apart, it tested close to that high where it closed at. Other than that, and then okay, yeah, it kind of did right here, here. So honestly, during this range, it probably would have been off taking. I guess sell. I mean, I don't like none of this range. Probably on the lower time frames, it looks better, but this is still a tough range to trade for most people, for anybody, right? But this is what's nice. So it tested this low. It seems like where it really was kind of coming, except for down here, right here, around 33, 32 is where it was resisted at. which ironically is trading above this high before it did a retracement and it broke it. So this is key. This is key. I'm just peeping that muscle right here. Retraced, broke this previous high, made a, I don't know, I don't know if gold has hit, I think gold has hit this high before, but I'm not going all the way left right now. But just for the sake of this particular chart, high wicked, and then it traded in this range at these around this previous high. And so it traded above it for the most part. So that's something to pay attention to. And this is why you should always look kind of at the big time frames to get an idea. All right. It broke these highs. Even though it wicked up here, it did close right here. So it's right in the line. Now you still wanted to break this wick comfortably. It did right here. Right where I got this little box at. Started taking off since really like September. And let's go to now 4 hours. Boom. Now it looks a little prettier, okay? Boom, boom, bullish. Stay here like we did before. Like we did before. Boom. 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 This is more sideways bullshit, right? Boom. Traded back into those little highs. Boom. Look at that. Came down to a little low. Consolidated in this range. Broke. Boom. Right? Doesn't not gonna look pretty, but I'm on a 4 hour. Let's break it down even more. Look at that. So it still look like, but this shows me on the hour. Look at that on the hour. It made a high, then it came down. Look at this M right here. Came down, stayed above these previous highs. You see that? So if you're doing your chart, say you was at this stage right here, and you see that it's bouncing off these previous highs. And then it starts getting slowly higher and higher, going towards these highs. That's going to let you know it's probably going to continue up. Like, it ain't even get close anymore to that. It's going to go up. Perfect entry. And especially if you have your own account, guys. Like, look at this shit. Look at this. This is beautiful. Look at this. Right here above this high. Above this high. Look at that. You could have took your entry anywhere in that above these highs. Boom, took off. Right? You see that, right? Now look at something. Where was my fib? Where was my fib? Look where my arrow is. Coming back here. Let me show you something. Look at that. So you can look at it better. That's a 60.18. 61.8 is usually a great sign that it's going to reverse at 60.18. 50% too. They'll Forex, they call it the golden zone right here. But 61.8 is even as strong. If it doesn't break past it, but look what it is. From this swing low to this swing high, and this chatter, 61.8 is right in with these previous highs. 50% is right above these previous highs. Understand that. This is where the move really took off for this move right here. That's why I put the low here, not down here. Especially if I'm looking for a short-term move. I'm not looking for a month, weeks to hold. We're looking for intraday scalping areas to trade. Boom. I put my arrow here. This is where I would love to get in this area. You can even get it down here near the 78.6 if it does like wick down there or something. You won't be wrong, but nice. So my wife over there looking for a deep retracement. I don't know if it's going to give her that. I said be careful, especially when it might just trade right here at 50%, even at 3.82. And she should, when it hit these levels, she should be looking for to get in for buys unless it shows momentum going to the downside. Okay. But yeah, I think that's going to be it for me on this video. Again, please like, comment, subscribe. Check me out. I'm trying to simplify as much as possible for you guys. I think before, I ain't gonna lie, just being nervous and trying to narrow down while I'm taking trades. You know, and I write my stuff down, but I think sometimes you just kind of like get used to doing what you do. So now I'm trying to show people the right way how to look at the charts. Okay. All right, guys, I'm out. You guys have a good one.